Hello, welcome to the KNGNetwork.com Coaches Show here in Fleming County. I'm Philip Smith, and I'm joined here today with high school football coach, Coach Spencer. How you doing today, Coach?
Doing great. Thanks for asking.
Looking back at last week's game, do you see anything that, as a team, that we can take away from last week's game, just to improve for the rest of the season?
Yeah, you know, it's kind of where we've been all year long, and where we knew we're going to have to get better at up front on offense with our offensive line and also with our defensive line. You know, in the game of football, you got to be able to block people and you got to be able to tackle to be successful. And unfortunately, we're not doing either one of those exceptionally well right now at the moment.
I do want to go ahead and apologize to you out there watching. Due to some media scheduling difficulties at the field house last week, we were unable to actually broadcast this game live. But we will be broadcasting this week the Bath County football game on the road as they play East Carter. And looking, Coach, right now the team's been very strong so far this year. And Maxie's been a big part of that. But I believe Maxie's injured right now. He's on the...
Yeah,
he's hurt a little bit.
He got banged up a little bit in the second half last week, and you know we're going to take the cautious side, and he's going to sit out this week, and you know we have an open week next week, so that'll give him 2 weeks to get healed up and ready to go when we get into our district play. So, you know, anytime we have a kid that has an injury that's borderline like that, we're going to be cautious with it, and especially when we're playing a non-district game this week. And we need to get him healed up and healthy and ready for that stretch through our district games, which is going to really determine how we get to do, you know, playoff wise and things like that.
McAdams is throwing. Des McAdams, quarterback. He's got a good arm on him, and he seems to have a good idea of where the ball is going to go when he throws it. How do you think our offense is doing then, based on Friday night's game? Is there a falter there, or just a bad night?
Well, we kind of sputtered a little bit because Fairview got us out of our rhythm. You know, they got 3 or 4 sacks there in the first quarter, and it kind of got us in hurry up mode, even when we didn't have to be. When your quarterback gets that pressure, they have a tendency of thinking there's pressure even when there's not. So there's some times when we got rid of the ball faster than we needed to, or we scrambled faster than we needed to. But it just comes with that tendency that they have, you know, when he was feeling pressure from some of the plays before. We just got to get him to calm down and know, you know, when he has time and when he really has to get out of the pocket.
How do you feel our seniors are doing this year, Coach? I mean, looking at our upperclassmen, I mean, it's a big year for them. Mm-hmm. And they've had some big wins. They had a big win, but also they have nights like Friday night. Yeah, that's a learning experience. How do you think our seniors are doing so far?
Our seniors are working hard. Like you said, we've had some inconsistent play at times, but not just from them, but from everybody. You know, we're still looking to get that 11 guys that we're going to get 100% effort every play, and not want to say effort, but doing their job. You know, every play. You know, we can't point out one group to say the seniors aren't doing their job, the juniors aren't doing their job. It's a team game, and we play a good mix of sophomores, juniors, and seniors. So I can't say that it's the seniors that are not doing their part, because they're certainly coming to work, and we're getting some good leadership from them. We have a lot of seniors this year. We have 11, and some of the seniors that we're counting on, though, haven't played football for a while, so we're trying to get those guys back into that football mode, the football mentality, because it's different than any other sport that you're going to play.
Okay, looking forward now. Of course, I know that you look at every game to game. Looking at the past here, is there anything that we're going to have to do special against this week's game? Well,
as I touched on earlier, in any game we play, we're going to have to be able to protect our quarterback better, and we're going to have to be able to run the ball better. Offensive line really sputtered for us early on last week. You know, I felt like we got some things going as the game went on. We had the drive where we were driving down the field, and we ended up with a fumble that they take back for a touchdown. That was big. And then, you know, in the second half, we come out and we marshaled the ball down the field twice. We get down into the red zone, didn't get any points out of it. So we were moving the ball, so it's just getting that consistent play. And that, you know, that's this week against Round County, and 2 weeks from now, or 3 weeks from now, actually when we play Lewis County. It doesn't matter who we play, we're going to have to get more consistent line play offensively and also defensively. We did a good job again Friday night with the East-West run. The 2 quick kids Fairview had around the corners. We did a good job shutting those guys down. But the big kid running right at us, right at our defensive line, our interior guys, we didn't do a good job stopping him. So we're going to have to get better at our blocking on offense and more consistent with our defensive line play.
I know in the past the Vikings have always had a very strong defense, and they play real smash mouth football. Is there anything we're going to be doing special in practice, getting ready for tomorrow night?
Not anything special. Like I said, we're trying to shore ourselves up first and foremost. We got to get better at what we're trying to do. Defensively this year, Round County has given up a lot of points, but I think that's kind of tricky to look at and say, where they're giving up 40 points a game, they're not very good defensively. Now, I don't think that's the case. I think they're scoring so many points on offense that they're giving the other team a lot of opportunities to have the football. So, they're a quick defensive team. They play a 3-3-5, so they have a lot of linebacker, DB type kids on the field. So, they have a lot of athletes out there, and they get to the ball pretty well. And, offensively, of course, everybody talks about Adam Wing and Stephen Williamson, the running back, who's having a tremendous year. They had a top-notch receiver in Philip Hodge who was injured in their last game and won't be playing against us. But they have a good run of athletes right now, and I'm sure they'll have somebody that'll be ready to step in his place.
Looking at, like I say, I know we look at games game to game, but looking at opponents in the past that we've played this year, Fleming County seems to be adapting. Because they're not changing how they play, but they're changing how they look at play. It looks like looking at the last game, it looks like they're looking at how the other team's coming at them. Yeah. Do you see a lot of adapting in the way that McAdams is actually giving plays, or the plays that we're doing, or how is actually our defensive line's actually coming at the ball? It's like they're evolving the way they play football, Coach.
Yeah. Well, we want to adapt and evolve and make improvements. And what we do offensively, we're going to take a look at what the defense is going to give us and kind of capitalize on that. And the Nicholas County game, for example, early on, their corners were playing up tight, so we had the long ball. So we were hitting the long ball on them, and we got lucky and hit a couple of those, long touchdowns. But then as the game went on, they played back off of us, and we took the short stuff. And that's our game plan. Whatever they're going to give us, we're going to capitalize on. And then defensively, we're getting better. We're not to the point right yet that we're where we need to be. We're getting better with our front guys about getting to the ball and with our linebackers. We've got 4 kids playing those inside linebacker spots and defensive tackle spots that haven't played varsity football before. So they're learning on the go and getting better, and that's all we can ask for. We're using these games each game by game to improve, and when the district gets here, hopefully we'll have things shored up.
I know you give a lot of praise to your special teams. How do you think they're coming along as the season progresses?
Well, I think as the season has gone on, people have paid a lot more attention. Our opponents have paid a lot more attention to our special teams. The first game we hit some big plays on it, yeah. And you can tell now that people are trying to keep the ball away from some of our quick kids, and they're focusing on it more. So our return game hasn't been as explosive. We're still getting some good work out of them, but our kicking game has improved. Hans Mickelsu, our punter, who's a really good punter, finally showed it some Friday night. We told him we hope to not ever have to use him, but when we do use him, we want him to be a weapon. And he got off a couple good kicks for us on Friday night that really pinned Fairview back a little bit, and we hope to continue to be able to do that.
Looking, how much time are we spending on film day? We're still doing a lot of looking at film, or looking at opponents too, just to see what to expect. Yeah, we
do. We spend Saturday mornings reviewing our video from the night before. That's with our kids, and we go over that on Saturday mornings. We do a little work, kind of working out the soreness and things on Saturdays, and then on Monday afternoons we come in and after school and we watch video of our opponents and condition and things. So we spend a fair amount of time on video, and also we use an online video system called Huddle. I don't know if you're familiar with it or not, but it allows our kids to get online at home or wherever they're at, and they can watch not only our videos, but they can watch our opponents' videos. So we kind of assign our kids to watch a certain amount of video, and we can go online and monitor it and make sure they're doing it. So we're making sure we're doing our homework on ourselves and on our opponents.
I think that's going to be real good for our kids to be able to see at least what their opponents are doing.
Yeah.
But looking at the district right now, what teams are you seeing might give Fleming a little bit of problem this year?
Well, in our district, when you talk about the leaders, Russell and Mason County always come up first, and Russell's traditionally always tough, and they've gotten off to a 1-1 start, playing some pretty tough competition, and I think that that'll continue to be true for them this year. They're going to have a pretty solid team. Mason County is kind of struggling right now, breaking in some new kids, and you know, they had an injury this past Friday night to one of their big players that they're thinking he's going to be out for the rest of the year, so they'll set them back. But Coach Buchanan does a great job with those guys, and I expect by the time we play him, which is all the way up in week 10, they'll be ready to play us. Our district is really competitive, you know, to be honest with you. When you look at Lewis County's in there and both of the Carter County teams, there's nobody in our district that we could sit back and say we know we're going to beat that team. We just got to show up and beat them. We got to work and get ready to play every week, and you know. But at the same time, we feel like if we do what we need to do and we do what we're capable of, there's nobody in our district that we can't beat. So you know, it's like I said, it's just a week by week process, and we'll take Brown County this week, and then we'll have our open week, and in those 2 weeks that we'll have to get ready for Lewis County, we'll spend time getting ourselves better and also focusing on what we have to do down the road.
Now, I know last week we talked about how hot it was to make sure people are staying hydrated. The weather's changed. It's drastic changes up there. And what are we doing now to keep our players warm? I mean, is that what we're doing now?
No, we're not to that point where we have to worry about bundling up yet. But, you know, the main concern with us on Friday may be, you know, playing with the wet football. So, you know, we're getting to practice with that right now. And yesterday we would kind of use the towel kind of sparingly, drying them off, because we said, you know, guys, we've got to get used to using the wet football. You never know when we're going to be in the middle of a game when it's a downpour, so it doesn't matter how much we dry the ball off, it's still going to be wet. So that's what we're working with right now. I don't think he's going to be an issue Friday night. It's just going to be how well we deal with the elements and a wet field and wet football and things like that.
Anything big we should be looking out for this week's game?
This week's our home game. We're going to celebrate our 50th anniversary of football. We're going to have members of the very first Fleming County football team back and honor those gentlemen, and they're going to have a little celebration for those, so the fans that come out to the game, they get here a little bit early so they can see that and honor those guys. You know, those guys were the forefathers for what we have now, and really laid paved the path for us and for what's going to happen on down the road. So that's a big moment, you know, to be able to take part in that and to be a part of the history of the school and to meet the guys that were here and really kind of laid the groundwork for us is going to be a big moment for our kids.
All right, so just go ahead and recap me, Coach. Looking back, so we get the game against the Vikings this week, and we know we're going to have to play hard because the Vikings are going to have a tough defense coming at us, and we know that Max is going to be out. Anybody else going to be out at all this week?
No, as of right now, he's our only kid that we don't expect to have on Friday night. Okay,
and looking also, everyone out there, just remember this Friday night we're going to have the 50th anniversary of football here in Fleming County with some of the original team out here. So go ahead and try to be early. Coach, I'd like to thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you.
I'd also like to go ahead and thank our sponsors. We have Webb's Tire Sales and Service in Judy, where owner J.D. Webb will tell you if you're not buying from him, you're spending way too much. I'd also like to thank Nick Pope Insurance in Paris, where he can help you with all of your insurance needs and even workers' compensation. And also Johnson Mathers Nursing Home there in Carlisle, along with both Apple Market locations in Carlisle, always ready to serve you. I'm Philip Smith, and this has been KNGNetwork.com. You can always check out our football games on Friday nights at 7 o'clock Thursday, KNGNetwork.com. Thanks, and you have a great day.